Okay, so I just got my small order from BrickLink. I ordered these pieces. I forget the part numbers, but it doesn't really matter. They were supposed to replace, or as I was modifying this to make this part not black. It just looked kind of odd. I swapped out these pieces from back here with the black ones were here, and then I had to find two additional yellow 1x1 tiles, which I got from some extra parts from a Plo Koon microfiber, luckily. So those worked out here, and maybe I might have had to add like a tile, like a 1x1 plate or so underneath it, just to make sure it filled out this area, something like that. At least for this one, because this piece, as you'll see here in a moment. I mean, the way this looks okay, it looks kind of like a body kit, like a part of the rear valence, but then I don't like how you can see yellow through here. It's just a gap. And the reason why that is because this piece that I replaced is solid all the way back through here, right? And also it's straight, but that's not the big thing. This is actually rather straight too, a bit more so than I thought. Maybe I'm tripping. We shall see. But see, it should be like this, where you put in another tile. At least this one would, down in this part down here, the way I got that to fill up, I had to put like an extra tile in here to fill that up. But then back here, you needed that gap so that this could drop closer to the body. So we shall see. I was thinking that this, after I bought the thing, I was looking closer and I was like, I don't think this is the right shape. I mean, some details about it, like say, I think the one that you can see in here, it's like, you see how, let me get the opposite part that might match it. You take a look at this part in here. You know, it's basically like this, but then you see how this has this extra gap up here, which that one doesn't. You see what I mean? So that's why I was thinking, well, that's not going to look the same. It's not going to work. And so I tried to cancel it, but the guy said, well, you should have been more careful, because he doesn't take, cancel orders for ordering the wrong part. Even though nothing shipped yet, I had just placed the order, and like just minutes, or at least within the hour, after I had time to just kind of scroll through the pictures and just comparing the parts with this to what I just bought, I said, I don't think it's going to work. But anyways, he couldn't do it, so I said, whatever, it's not that expensive. It's like, well, with the shipping, these parts aren't that cheap. It's always, you pay more for the shipping just for these little things, but whatever. I'm not close to any place right now to look for these parts, and I'm sure I don't have anything like this. Pretty sure I don't have anything like this extra at home. So I figured, what the heck, just give it a try. Either it works and I'm good, or I'll just stick with this piece, or the other plan I think I mentioned in the previous video was to buy another one of these just for that part, so that I can fix that, and then the rest of it, I don't know, just donate to my kids. I can build up most of it, and they probably won't care about this little detail. So anyways, color match wise, it seems like it's pretty darn close. Is it perfect? Probably not, but I think it's so close that within 1% or 2, it's not gonna matter. So let's see if this works. So I wanted to fill this back up here. It's basically like this piece, this angled one, or rather, just like that. They're all mirrored, right? There's a left and right, but that one would be, a piece like that would be down here. So if I fit this in, hey, it's not too bad. It's exactly what I wanted, actually. Yeah, there might have been this differentiation between like how this thing is done. It has that a little bit of a gap there, but it fits where it needs to fit, and that's what I want to do. I didn't want it to, like this side, you see how it kind of just flares out. It doesn't look bad. Maybe if I had somehow made the inside part black, make it all black on the bottom, it would have matched. But I didn't want this to just look fatter on the back end. It's not the worst thing, but I think I would prefer to see more body color, much like here. As far as this in there, that's not much. For sure, I can't do nothing about that, unless I can somehow get a yellow piece like that. But that's going a bit far. Let me see. That might be a very specialized piece from Mattel, which Lego may not have, and I don't think there's any source right now to get Mattel parts, unless you can ask Mattel for it. But I don't think they have to, assuming they make these in yellow too. But let's see, push this back in. Seems like it's popping out a little bit. There we go. So yeah, that's basically what I wanted to do. Just make it look clean all the way across. So we'll pop this guy out and take this one. Should get a similar effect. Bam. Perfect. I was hoping that, you know, because of how low it is anyways, and such a small little detail that, and again, being on the bottom end side, you're not going to really notice it. And the main thing was, as long as most of this shape, it's not exactly the same as this. You can see the angle is different. This one is a little bit more, this one's cut back more. This one isn't, but I think that's fine. Not going to be able to tell the difference too much for most people. I think that works good enough. Yeah, but I just wanted to think it looks cleaner being more yellow all the way across now. Cool. I better cancel my pre-order for this because I did do it. These have been out of stock since they came out because people have just been jumping on these. Although I think recently Mattel has had these back on. You can actually order them now. At least just the other day or so, and even earlier today. I think I was looking and it's still in stock. So today is the Saturday, January 17th. So you can, if you're curious and you're watching this, maybe just give them a try if you've been looking for this. This is definitely one that I wanted to get. I'm kind of still on the fence with the Civic, although I feel likely I'll end up buying one anyways. Just because, you know, it's that era of JDM cars from the mid to late 80s to early 90s, or even mid 90s. That range, mid 80s, early mid 90s, that's kind of the range that I grew up in. And all I need is an Integra. But I don't think they'll do Integras, will they? We'll see. Or even an RSX. I think, you know, before these became, well, the latest ones are just horrible. I can't stand the newest gen of what used to be the Integra, the RSX. They just look so different than what I grew up with, and they don't look like anything. They look bad. I have to say, I'm sorry. They may perform well, maybe, but even if the older ones, like my gen was actually before they came out with the new body. But anyways, we'll see. I'm thinking about it. I'll probably end up getting it, even though it's not that aqua teal color isn't my jam. The overall aesthetic, the design of it is you know, it falls in line with what I like in that era. So I'll probably end up getting it. So yeah, what do you think? Looks a lot better, right? It's just clean all around. Definitely this had to go. That giant black panel that was down here is just, you know, break up the sides. You know, it doesn't look clean. If anything, like if I can find these pieces in yellow next, I might have to do a search for that and see if I can. Then I might not be done yet. This I can leave black, although I do. Yeah, this is a very specialized piece. Look, just forgot. This is like one piece. I don't know. I'm not familiar if Lego makes anything like this. For sure, like a 2x4 like that. That's something they do. But this seems very specialized for this application, at least, if not from Mattel. But these pieces that kind of they're side mounted and they have this flat part. I'm pretty sure Lego makes stuff like that. And if they do, I may want to try and mod this just a tiny bit further. I think it would look better if this was yellow as well. But I'm happy with it. If I can't, that's fine. I would be pretty happy with it the way it is right now. I think this looks pretty tight. Yeah, let me put this on the ground and give you a low, move these guys out of the way, low angle shot. Well, let's not do the, yes, this is my Stranger Things lineup. I need to find a place to put, but anyways, there, yeah. If I did find the yellow pieces, then it would at least eliminate that bit of black in there. Not so much up here. I'm kind of okay with. It's just like it's, it's a hinge. So, but this part, this down here could be more yellow if I can find it. And then here's the back angle with the new piece redone. And I guess if you look at the previous video, you can see how it looked like before with the black piece. It just stuck out a bit, but in a way it kind of works, but I just prefer this. This looks a lot cleaner, more body color. I mean, this is how it was originally designed to look, basically, like too, but again, this piece is shaped and angle cut a little bit differently. But I think overall that still works pretty darn good. So yeah, awesome. Can't wait to work on my next project, which might be, I was going to do one of these down here, the Normandy from Mass Effect, or I think one of my other videos. So this is like another spinner. This is one that I built a while ago that got off either Temu or AliExpress. I think AliExpress, it was fine. It does the job, but it doesn't have any prints or stickers, so it's kind of plain. But people that know this is pretty instantly. But this one, let me just bring it out. I didn't show it. Looks like that. And the box got dinged, but I think hopefully the parts are fine. And it's got a lot of the printed parts, the numbers, like similar to, well, here I have like a mini one here that I just got not too long ago, the 30 miniature. You can see 44. It is missing that yellow stripe that goes down the side here. I don't see that over here. I could probably find a decal if I needed to. The police 995 or 6, which matches what's here. And there is like a smaller one right there in white. This extra, is that a print? Yes, yeah, a spinner. I guess maybe they can't officially call it spinner, but they at least have part of that. There is a bit of that black and yellow, like kind of, what do you call that? It's not checkered, but it's a kind of like a warning kind of edge like this down here. To have that there. Let's see what else is there. The doors are open, and I think this kind of, in some ways, this shape is done a little bit smoother and better, which kind of matches the spinner. Sorry, I got this still wrapped in plastic. It's more rounded, whereas this one's, it is, but then it's also angled, and then you can see, especially where the lights are, it's like, it's not supposed to be white all the way around. It's supposed to only be at the top and the bottom parts, right? It's just, if you can kind of make it out here, if you're familiar with this car, you know what I mean. And so this is not exactly right either. At least, it should be more of it, as you can see across the top here, and probably the same. It's probably mirrored on the bottom, but it's like, it should be more on the bottom. But I think overall it should be good and beautiful. I mean, this looks like an official product too, because of this box and all the labeling and everything here. But although again, it's not, probably they can't call it Blade Runner or use the word spinner. But yeah, cool. This door is open. I think that one might as well, but it's kind of it's a little bit fragile. Hopefully this is engineered better, and we'll see about the inside. I mean, definitely that doesn't have any prints on the inside, so you got some gauges here, which I doubt if these are accurate to anything in the movie, but at least it's something. Got the lights inside between there. I don't think this can convert to, ground mode, where I believe, how does that work? Like, these things flip over the top, right? And then you see the wheels exposed when it's landed. Just have rear wheels here. I'm not sure what this means. This is kind of anything that's going to go backwards. But it comes with a stand too. So that'd be cool. I would like to, if it, I'll test it out with some minifigures. If it can fit a minifigure, they do. I think there's a place or two that might sell like custom, like Decker minifigs. So I can put one in here. It'd be great if he had the other guy, actually. What's his name? Played by Edward James Olmos. I forget that character's name. He's got the weird eyes, and he's wearing this kind of hat. Well, he wears a fedora, but then in here he takes that off and he wears like a kind of a flight kind of cap or something as he's flying this. And then Decker's sitting in here. And as you think about it, actually, Decker didn't actually have the movie. I mean, not have the movie. He didn't actually pilot this thing in Blade Runner. He just sat around in it, and that's it. He actually had his own vehicle, which was much more angular, and you only see it in a couple of shots. I think it's red too, and it's much more triangular shaped, and supposedly it was pretty much grounded, but I think it does actually fly too. But we never see it do that. But then we just always associate him with this car, just because the movies in general, just you just remember these things as a. But you don't actually we don't really remember the fact that he actually never really owned or piloted one of these, at least not in the original Blade Runner that we saw. But later in the sequel 2049, he does have one where he's hiding out in Vegas, but it's just parked and then shortly blown up by the people that are, I guess, kind of after him or Kay. But anyways, I digress. So that might be the next thing. Although, since it's car related, maybe I would do something else. I picked up one of these. This is a new series from Zulu. They have another retro one that I had from. They had some pretty cool stuff, but like a mini arcade. I got the old Mac computer because I used to. I didn't own one, but that used to be something that either some of my friends owned or we had at school. And this time they have camera. I'm into cameras, so, and then this is like a rangefinder style, like Leica or Fujifilm or some other cameras, and some other ones make these, but they're a little bit more rare to find. They're not like a more traditional style, but I do like this. And they do come with these other ones here. There's an electric guitar that I don't really care about because I'm not a guitarist, but someone might like this. This one is the one I was also trying to find. Obviously, you know what this is from, but but this one, I could not find one of these in the store, and it looks like they just, these look pretty new, and it's a couple full boxes, but they were kind of mixed of stuff, and they had actually quite a few of the cameras, but then they also had quite a few of the, especially the cassette player, which it doesn't look bad. It's actually kind of decent, but I'm not really. I'd rather get this next if I was to get one more, but I'm down with the cameras because I like that. And I actually have like one of the ones from Lego that's a 3-in-1. It's not the best representation of it, but it's still kind of cool that they sort of made one. So maybe I might do this. This is 152 pieces. This should be a pretty quick build. I might not have a lot of time specifically today to get into one of these two guys. It seems much more involved. Yeah, but that's where I'm at. So thanks for watching, and yeah, if I find that I can get these in yellow too, then I might try one more additional mod just to finalize this and really make it look good. But we'll see. If not, consider this the end for now. Thanks for watching.